Glazed donut. This is the absolute baseline of the pastry world, a simple ring of yeast-risen dough that is fried until golden and submerged in a warm sugar glaze. Its origins trace back to 19th century America, where Dutch immigrants brought over their tradition of fried dough, though it was the automation of the donut machine in the 1920s that truly standardized this specific style. What makes it stand out is its weightlessness, as a perfect glaze shatters slightly upon biting into the airy, pillowy interior. It matters because it is the ultimate test of a baker's skill, offering no fillings or heavy toppings to hide any flaws in the dough itself. Old-fashioned donut. This variety is instantly recognizable by its rugged, cracked surface and ring shape, which is a direct result of using a chemically leavened cake batter instead of yeast. The dough is extruded into the oil at a lower temperature, causing the exterior to split open and create deep ridges that catch glaze beautifully. It dates back to the late 1800s, preceding the widespread use of commercial yeast in quick-service bakeries. The texture is distinctly dense and cake-like, with a crunchy outer shell and a soft, damp interior that holds up exceptionally well when dipped into hot coffee. Boston Cream Donut. This is a solid, round yeast donut filled with rich vanilla custard and topped with a smooth layer of chocolate fondant. It was directly inspired by the official dessert of Massachusetts, the Boston Cream Pie, which was created at the Parker House Hotel in the mid-1850s. Rather than slicing a cake, bakers realized they could replicate the exact flavor profile by injecting the custard straight into a fried shell. The contrast between the bittersweet chocolate topping and the cool, creamy center makes it a staple of regional American bakeries. Jelly donut. This category encompasses a massive global family of filled pastries, known as Berliner in Germany, Sufganiyat in Israel, and Pączki in Poland. The traditional version features a yeast-leavened dough ball fried whole, then pierced and pumped full of raspberry, strawberry, or plum jam before being dusted with powdered sugar. Historically, these became popular in Central Europe during the 16th century when the price of sugar dropped, making sweet fillings an accessible luxury for the working class. It remains culturally significant as a celebratory food, particularly during festival seasons, where rich, fried foods are custom. Cruller. This pastry stands out due to its intricate, twisted shape and an incredibly light interior, which is achieved by using choux pastry instead of standard donut batter. Originating in Europe and heavily influenced by French baking techniques, the high moisture content in the eggs steam inflates the dough while frying, leaving the inside almost entirely hollow. The French method produces a delicate ring-shaped lattice that melts in the mouth, while a denser Midwestern variant relies on a twisted cake batter. Its appeal lies completely in this unique architecture, which provides maximum surface area for a thin sugar glaze to coat. Apple fritter. This is an irregular, craggy mound of dough that straddles the line between a pastry and a chopped cake. It is made by folding fresh apple chunks and heavy cinnamon into a yeast dough, which is then roughly chopped, pressed together, and dropped into the fryer. The ragged edges cook faster than the interior, creating a complex mix of deeply caramelized, crispy corners and a soft, fruit-laden center. It evolved from ancient European fruit fritter traditions, transforming into a massive, satisfying breakfast staple in American diners because it utilizes bruised or surplus apples efficiently. Sour cream donut. This is a specific variation of the cake donut that incorporates sour cream directly into the batter. The acidity of the cultured dairy reacts with the leavening agents to produce a remarkably tender crumb structure and a slightly tangy flavor that cuts through the sweetness of the glaze. It traditionally features a star-shaped split along the top surface, giving it a rustic appearance. This style became popular in the mid-20th century as commercial bakeries sought ways to extend the shelf life of cake donuts, discovering that the fat content in sour cream kept the pastry moist for days. Mochi donut. This modern innovation features a distinct shape resembling a ring of 8 small connected dough balls, often called a pond ring. Originating in Japan during the early 2000s, it combines traditional American frying methods with Japanese glutinous rice flour, the same ingredient used to make mochi. Unlike any Western counterpart, its defining characteristic is a bouncy, chewy texture that offers significant resistance when bitten. It has quickly become a global phenomenon, acting as a canvas for vibrant contemporary flavors like matcha, taro, and black sesame glaze. Long John. This is an elongated, bar-shaped yeast donut that is fried to a deep golden brown and traditionally coated with a thick layer of chocolate or maple icing. It is sometimes sliced open along the side and piped full of sweet white baker's cream or fresh whipped cream. The style grew out of the American Midwest in the early 20th century as a simple, hearty alternative to the standard ring shape, taking its name from regional slang for long undergarments. It remains highly popular because its sturdy structure allows it to hold a much higher volume of frosting and filling than a typical round pastry. Cider donut. This seasonal specialty is a cake donut that relies on highly concentrated, reduced apple cider mixed directly into the batter along with a heavy blend of cinnamon and nutmeg. It is a defining piece of autumn culture in the northeastern United States, closely tied to orchard harvests and rural mill operations dating back to the colonial era. Instead of being dipped in a liquid sugar glaze, it is tossed immediately out of the fryer into a bowl of granulated cinnamon sugar while still piping hot. It matters because it marks a specific agricultural tradition, offering a dense, cakey texture with a sharp fruit acidity that balances the spiced exterior coating.